This week, we read in the Torah, Parshat Teitzei, one of the interesting laws that at first glance seems odd are the laws of kilayim. The Torah gives three areas where there's a prohibition to mix things. That first area is animals. Two animals are not allowed to plow together using the same plow. Secondly, plants. You're not allowed to mix certain plants to grow them too close to each other, because if you do so, then the life force of the sustenance of one gets mixed into the other, and that gets fused together. Thirdly, there's a prohibition of wearing and mixing wool and linen together. Now, the idea that lies behind here is a deep idea, and that idea is that, yes, while synthesis and harmony are important generally, and that's what Torah, it says, our rabbis tell us that Torah was given in order to bring peace into the world. At the same time, harmony means when you have many different things that each retain their unique individuality and they fuse together to form something coherent. However, there can be a mixture of things and a fusion that is not harmonic, but it is destructive. And when you mix those things together, you get a destructive result. This is the secret behind these three different types of kilayim in Hebrew, things that you are forbidden to mix together. That those represent the different areas of life that are destructive to mix together, different areas of the person. So we know that a person is made of four general categories, just as the world is made of four general categories. Those categories being inanimate objects, above that being the plants that grow. They display a little bit more life force than inanimate objects. Above that are animals, and above that is a human being. So for reasons that go beyond the scope of this video, the animal kingdom is represented by our emotions. And then our mind is represented, the emotions are represented by the plants, and the animal kingdom is represented by our intellect. So when you have the prohibition of the animals not plowing together, that is referring to a destructive mix, a destructive synthesis of mind and heart. Then you have another example, which is the plants, that is emotions mixing together in a harmful manner. And then above that, you have the shatnas, which is a mix of wool and linen. Over there, that is mixing the plant with something that comes from a live being. Over there, on the one hand, it is more destructive because you are mixing two things that completely don't belong together. On the other hand, that prohibition does not exist. The prohibition is not in making the garment, the prohibition is wearing the garment. And that is because those two things, which are so separate, can never truly fuse together. However, when you do something active, when you do an action with them together, such as wearing them together, then you create a fusion which is harmful. Good Shabbos.